Hey there, creeps, and welcome to the St. Patrick's Day special of Famous Monster Fridays!
I ate a tomato.
You ate a tomato! That's so cool! Ak, Jellybean, are you guys excited that today is St. Patrick's Day?
Scary day, 'cause that's what we
Oh, you call scary leprechauns. Scary cons. Alright, so let's get to what you guys came for. Jellybean, hand me that magazine!
Magazine.
Alright,
Eat this one.
we even picked out a green issue. Hey guys, do you want to take Nana Yaga on a walk in the graveyard?
Yes.
Okay, alright. Ak, are you ready? Oh, you tell bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Alright, bye guys. Take care of Nana Yaga. Okay, so let's get to the issue. It is number 60 of Famous Monster Fridays. No, this is episode 5, but the issue is number 60 of Famous Monsters of Filmland. It came out in December of 1969. Pretty groovy cover. We picked it because it was green. What better color than for our St. Patrick's Day special, right? Okay, let's jump on in. We've got a beautiful picture from King Kong. All right. And on the thing, on the first page, there is Ackerman, picture of enthusiasm. And it's all the mail he's received from monster kids throughout the world. It's a lot of mail. If we can zoom in close enough, you can kind of see his hands. All right. Moving on to Fang Mail, which this issue we kind of dived into the fan mail and the different things, like the different clubs that are in the magazine, and some of them they've got quite a bit of beef. There's one kid, he called another kid an idiot, I think, and yeah, it's wild. Anywho, underneath the pictures it said, "We want more monster fans like so and so." We got the Tomb of Contents. Pretty nifty. Moving on. You see that little boy there? Here in Union County, there used to be a sheriff. The sheriff of Union County his name was Jim Nash. And we looked him up and we asked if this was him, and he said, absolutely not. I did not know that magazine exists. So, no, that is not Union County Sheriff Jim Nash. Anywho, moving on to White Zombie. If you have seen it, I'm sorry. But for me, it was kind of a snooze fest. But we're going to discuss it anyways. Check out Lugosi's half stash. Kind of looks like a Soil Horror's Jacob Stamp whenever he tries to grow up facial hair. It's just terrible. It is terrible. So, White Zombie, this couple come to visit this chick's friend that she used to be friends with, and then the friend wanted to marry the girl, has a voodoo, not ceremony, spell kind of thing put on her the day of her wedding, and then she becomes kind of like his servant, and he's like, "What have I done?" And long story short, everything works out for the best, I guess, kind of, except for the girl's brain is completely melted and can't think for herself. Anyway, here's some zombies. They are not flesh-eating, they are just mindless and do as they are told. This movie was filmed in 1932. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Jack Pierce, who did a bunch of the Universal Monster makeup. I think he did it for this one too. Could be wrong. But anywho, here's a picture of more zombies. And then mystery photo number 37, daughter of, and we deducted it that it is Boris Karloff's daughter, Sarah Karloff. Okay. Shapes of screams to come. So in this article, they talk all about the new movies coming out that are going to terrify audiences. And some of them look pretty creepy. I haven't watched a lot of these. Like in this next page, the oblong box. We looked into it last night. We watched the trailer for it. Looked kind of creepy. And it kind of had, like, it gave an impression of it as like a Haitian voodoo ritual kind of thing, too. Could be wrong. Leave a comment. Let us know. We could be completely wrong. But tell us. Moving on to the year 2070, which is not too far from now. And it is Marooned? What? Journey to the... There we go. Sorry. Journey to the Far Side of the Sun. Cool. And in this article, it's got Uncle Forey and animator David Allen, who he kind of does like the different claymation stuff. It talks about like different movies coming out and some of the different actors that are in these movies. Christopher Lee and the Magic Christian. Wait, no, yeah. And then The Mummy vs. the Werejackal. The title was changed to The Curse of the Werejackal. And then Joan Crawford talks about Torg getting ready to come out, which is like a kind of Yeti monster, from what I've understood. And from the little research I did, which was very, very minimum, it looked like a Yeti. Prehistoric beast type thing. And also, so I found this article here. It talks about Roman Polanski. And it talks about, we sympathize with him with the loss of his wife, Sharon Tate, who was murdered by the Manson family. This came out in December 1969, and I think it was, August or September that the murder happened, which I don't know, just diving into this article, it was kind of like, ooh, that's a real life scary thing, and they're talking about it. They don't really like talk about how it happened or what happened. It just said, we send our deepest regards out to him and can't wait for him to come back to filming. Okay. Again, we haven't usually read the comics, but this one, we're trying to research it and figure out who this Roland Bryce was. Well, he's not a real person. It's an excerpt from the Eerie magazine. I could be wrong. It could be creepy. But it was either Eerie or Creepy number 9. And it's the story called Typecast. And it tells about this actor who keeps on getting these jobs in these horror movies. And he's a method actor. And so he's like, well, how am I going to get the inspiration? So he plays the gravedigger in one. So he goes and digs up people, and he played Quasimodo, and he killed somebody. A mad scientist killed somebody, and then the very last reveal, it's not the last reveal, but his director keeps on getting him these typecasts because he does so good in them. Well, for the next role, one of the roles he's supposed to do is supposed to be some psychotic strangler type guy, and when his manager comes in and says, "Are you ready?" He's like, "I need a little inspiration." And he chokes him, and he moiters him. He's unalived. And the artwork is just beautiful, and it really brings you in if you take the time to read it. Just start reading it. You won't be able to stop. And then he's eventually locked up and put away. But they said they released him, and they're like, well, he's okay now, even though he's unalived quite a few people. And he gets another role. And the role they give him is of Jack the Ripper. Bum, bum, bum! Which we all know, Jack the Ripper murdered quite a few folks back in the day. Some more Don Post mask. And I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but the mole person, he kind of looks like a hot dog with eyes. They should have called him Hot Dog Eye, or Hot Dog with Eye Man people. Okay, moving on to the Graveyard Examiner. Just a bunch of little splurts and experts from fan mail, and it talks about how you can get your membership and what Bela Lugosi's been up to. And it said, fans of the month, Lagoon Lout, water monster fiends will turn into the kind of thing which surfaces every 1,000 of years to zoom eye the latest horror pictures at the nearest drive-in. Tell me if I'm wrong, but does that say zoom eye? Right? Okay. I was wondering why I was struggling so much, but as we can see, I'm not too crazy. Or am I? You asked for it! People have asked for these pictures. You asked for it. Different pictures the fans wanted to see. I love this the claymation stuff so much. The amount of time that went into moving those figures around is just insane. Last week we had the cucumber monster, right? Or was that a couple weeks ago? It was last week. This week, from the outer limits, comes the cabbage monster, which is fitting to St. Patrick's Day. Full loop. Cabbage monster. I don't think I would like that with some, as a side for my corned beef and cabbage. I do not think I'd enjoy. Moving on, it talks about the Frankenstein. They said this is the last of it's the conclusion. I guess in 2 prior magazines, they had been talking about different Frankensteins that Karloff has done, the movies and stuff, and this was it. And, I mean, we're not here to beat a dead horse, but we've all seen Frankenstein. Most of us have. He's a cool monster. Frankenstein's green. But, I mean, on the film, he is... The makeup that Jack Pierce used was a mixture of green and something else. And because on film... Oh, there's a burp there. On film, he said it made him look more like a corpse. It made it... The way the green picked up, it made it look like he was a corpse and unalive. Yeah. More Frankenstein. Up in the windmill. Which Frankenstein's kind of weird because you feel sad for this monster. You know, he didn't choose to be murderous. There was that danged Abby Normal brain. There he chokes out another victim. All right, and one of the saddest moments, in my opinion, in movie history. Frankenstein was excited he had made a friend. Start here. And then we go to where he had chucked her in the water like a flower, but she did not know how to swim. And then there's her papa carrying her lifeless corpse. It's sad. It's a hard watch. All right. Some more pretty pictures from the collection of Forrest J. Ackerman. All right, back issues. This is right here, number 50, which we reviewed last week. And if you haven't watched that episode, you need to make sure you watch it, because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Ooh. We have not reviewed 36 yet, have we? We have it. What do you folks think? Yes, no. Yeah? Yeah! Woo! We got a big thumbs up from producer, camera lady, the beautiful and intelligent lady behind the camera. Give herself a round of applause. That's beautiful. Great. Anyway, moving on. Terrors of the man-eating plants. Not to overlook woman-eating plants. What is going on here? All right, we're going to dive right on into Conga. Have not seen it, but apparently there's a vicious plant in there. Oh. And then, just watched this on Svengoolie the other night. Island of the Lost Souls. The Island of Lost Souls. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's supposed to be like it's loosely based off the island of Dr. Moreau. Moreau? Not Marrow. Moreau. There we go. Cool pictures. And then, from the land unknown, the star was Sean Smith, and she went by another name. It is escaping me. Something Patterson. Sharon Patterson. While our brain behind the camera is looking that up, I'll show you these pretty pictures. And this has got it like way years later. Shirley Patterson. There we go. There she is. She had a couple different aliases. But it reminds me a lot of Evil Dead, where the vines come out and they're like, and you know, the vine scene. Everybody knows it. Hopefully our younger viewers have not seen it yet, but I'm not their dad or their mommy, so anyway, moving on. You can order some Eerie. You can order some glow-in-the-dark monster kits. Movies and paperbacks. The Crawling Hand. These things are nuts. For the equivalent of $40 in today's money, you could get a crawling hand. If anybody has ever ordered one of these, please leave a comment and let us know what in the H-E-double heck that was, okay? Crawling hand, come on. People bought this stuff. It's weird, right? I mean, it's almost as bad as sending a baby monkey through the mail. Anywho, off my soapbox, we're moving into some more albums, monster albums. Get them on vinyl. It's That's what all the cool kids have. Speaking of which, I know this is out in left field, but does anybody listen to Ghost? If you do, leave a comment. If you have any other vinyl, leave a comment. Is it worth it? I mean, I know people say things sound better on vinyl, but, I mean, MP3s, Spotify is pretty cool too. I'm not here to judge. But if you do collect them, let us know. Another giant 6-foot pinup. Which, I mean, a Frankenstein pinup, I think I might have worded it different, but that's just me. Ba-ding. While we're on the topic of St. Patrick's Day, does anybody else detest Warwick Davis, or is that just me? He, like, absolutely terrifies me in all of his roles. Freaking Warwick Davis. That guy's terrifying, right? And he, like, in the Leprechaun movies when he's like, oh, shiddly-dee, I'm gonna chop off your knee. Or bend you over a barrel and put a shamrock in your toe. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, don't torture him with your awful, like, little riddles or hoodly peas. Just, I mean, come on. It's torturous. It's terrifying. Alright. Sorry. And some more stuff you can order. Ba-ba-ba-boo. That is it! Issue 60, December 1969. Happy freaking St. Patrick's Day! I know we didn't have any leprechauns come out and do any jigs, or we didn't have any shamrock shakes from McDonald's. They're pretty good, I hear. They just go right through. Yeah. Anyway. What did you think about it, baby Zaago? I guess his mustache has his mouth glued together. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Tell all your ghouls and boils to subscribe and watch. And again, thank you. But until our next episode, creep it real.